The road to success is one I've walked 1,000 times in my mind, and if there's one constant that has guided me, it's the unrelenting will to keep going, to push through the obstacles, the doubts, the pulls, the doubts, the fears, and keep moving forward. It's like steering a ship. You can have the most magnificent vessel and a top-notch crew, but if you don't chart a course and take that wheel with conviction, you'll drift lost with no sense of direction. Let me tell you, life is no different. Today, I want to talk about this force, this power we all have. Even if we don't always recognize it, the ability to get up, to push ourselves beyond what's comfortable, and to aim for something extraordinary. We're going to talk about the art of pushing yourself, because that's what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. And honey, believe me, every bit of greatness in this world is built on pushing beyond what's easy. Picture this you standing at the crossroads of a decision, staring down two paths. One looks safe and familiar, the other uncertain, downright terrifying. But here's the catch, it's that scary path that holds the key to everything you've been dreaming of. We all stand at these crossroads, and those moments, those decisions, they shape who we are. I'm not talking about simple choices like what to eat for breakfast or which show to binge watch. No, I'm talking about the decisions that make your stomach twist, the ones that push you out of that comfort zone and force you to face your fears. There's a force inside all of us, a power we can't always see, but it's there. It's the strength that gets you out of bed when everything in your body wants to hit snooze one more time. It's the push you give yourself when there's a difficult conversation you've been avoiding or a project that feels way bigger than anything you've tackled before. We've all been there, staring at that mountain thinking, I'll deal with it tomorrow. But baby, let me tell you something, tomorrow turns into next week, next month, and before you know it, that little hill you were avoiding has grown into a mountain so tall you can't see the top. The difference between success and stagnation? Action. Plain and simple. Action is the engine of achievement. You can have all the knowledge, all the talent, but if you don't act on it, it's like having a full library but never opening a single book. You might be sitting on a treasure trove of potential, but if you don't use it, it doesn't mean a thing. Now, how do we tap into this inner force? How do we summon the courage to take action, especially when it feels impossible? That's the journey we're on today, my friend. It's about understanding the why behind what you're doing. It's about embracing discomfort, because growth and comfort, honey, they are not friends. They don't even speak the same language. Growth happens when you push past what feels good, what feels easy, and step into that space where everything in you says, I don't think I can do this. That's where the magic happens. Let me tell you something, everything in life is connected. Every choice, every action, it all matters. Some people like to think, oh, this one thing doesn't count. The first can slack off here, it won't affect anything else. Wrong. Every letdown in one area seeps into the others. If you let yourself off the hook in one part of your life, it's like a crack in the foundation of a house. Sooner or later, that crack spreads, and before you know it, the whole house is in danger. Take something simple like walking around the block. If you don't take that walk, you might skip that healthy meal. If you skip the healthy meal, maybe you won't pick up that book you've been meaning to read. If you don't read the book, maybe you won't build the skills you need. And if you don't build those skills, you'll look back 6 years later and wonder where all your time went. Regret piles up, not in big moments, but in the small decisions we make every day. So how do you stop that? How do you turn the ship around? It starts with the smallest of actions, the little things, the tiniest disciplines, they matter. Every small win builds momentum. And once you pick up just one good habit, you'll find yourself inspired to take on the next challenge and the next. But to make that happen, you have to master one thing, self-discipline. It doesn't matter how brilliant you are, how much potential you have. If you don't use it, it's wasted. You could sit through every seminar, read every book, but if you don't apply what you've learned, it's all for nothing. Applied knowledge is power. When you apply it, you see results. And once you see those results, you can refine your approach and get even better. That's when you start rising higher and higher, spiraling up into success. But self-discipline, now that's the key. It's what you need to set goals, manage your time, lead others, and even raise your kids right. If you don't have it, your life will feel like a series of missed opportunities. You'll always be chasing something you can't quite catch. But if you commit to discipline, if you make it a part of your daily life, you'll start to see the results. You'll stop feeling frustrated because your time is no longer being eaten up by other people's demands. And let me tell you, it takes discipline to fight those voices in your head, the ones that whisper, you're not good enough, or what if you fail? Discipline is what gives you the strength to keep going, even when those voices get loud. It takes discipline to admit when you've made a mistake, to acknowledge your weaknesses. It takes discipline to be honest with yourself and with others. Habits are like cables formed one strand at a time until they become unbreakable. And bad habits, well, they can be just as strong. But here's the good news: just as they're formed, they can be broken little by little. Every day, with every choice, you can start to unravel those old patterns and replace them with something better. So think about that goal you've been putting off. Picture it in your mind right now. This isn't just about words on a page. This is about transformation. We're not talking about maybe or someday. We're talking about now. We're talking about turning I can't into I will, because the journey from I can't to I will is where the magic happens, baby. That's where lives change. Let's take this journey together. Let's explore how we can tap into this force inside us, how we can turn our lives around and sail toward our dreams. Because, darling, it's not just about the destination. It's about who you become along the way. The journey is where you build your strength, where you learn the lessons that'll carry you through the rest of your life. Now imagine a world where everyone masters self-discipline, where people kept their promises not just to others but to themselves. Can you see it? A world of achievement, of growth, of transformation. Now I know that world sounds like a dream, but guess what? It starts with you. The moment you decide to take control, to stop making excuses and start making changes, that's when the magic happens. Self-discipline is about taking responsibility for your life. It's about making choices that serve you, not excuses that hold you back. It's easy to be disciplined when people are watching, but real discipline is what you do when no one's around. It's the choices you make in those quiet moments that define you. Here's the truth: self-discipline builds self-worth. It's not about being perfect, but every time you choose discipline, you build a little more belief in yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you start to believe you can keep bigger promises, tackle bigger challenges. But the reverse is also true. Every time you slack off, even just a little, you chip away at that belief. That's why discipline is so powerful. It's the foundation of everything. Discipline is a muscle. It needs to be worked, stretched, and tested. Yes, it'll get tired, but every time you push through, you get stronger. And that strength is what will carry you through the tough times. Self-discipline doesn't mean you won't feel the tug of procrastination or the heavy weight of laziness hanging around your neck. It means you have the strength, the power within yourself to rise above them. It's not about feeling superhuman or unbothered by distractions. No, it's about standing firm when those temptations arise and saying, not today. It's about creating habits that put action over inaction, consistency over complacency. Because let me tell you something right now, consistency is the name of the game. It's not about those big flashy moments. It's about those small steps, day in and day out, that reinforce your goals. You've got to train your mind to focus on long-term success rather than the instant gratification of a short-term comfort. Understand that every little move you make, no matter how small or insignificant it might feel at the moment, is still a move in the right direction. That's progress. And progress, honey, no matter how slow it comes, is still movement forward. We have to celebrate that. Now let's get something straight. Ain't nobody immune to the challenges of procrastination and laziness. Not the most successful CEOs, not the movie stars, not the athletes, nobody. They don't have some magical power that shields them from it. What they do have is self-discipline. And let me tell you something about discipline. It's not glamorous, it's not pretty, but it gets the job done. They've learned how to shut down that little voice whispering, I'll do it later or maybe tomorrow. No, they replace those whispers with action. They know, just like you need to know, that the road to success isn't paved with intentions. It's built brick by brick with consistent effort, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. When you commit yourself to overcome procrastination and laziness, you're not just dealing with external stuff. You're not just trying to juggle your schedule or avoid distractions from your phone. No, honey, this is a fight happening on the inside. You are waging war against your own comfort zone, your own desire to stay still, to stay safe. But guess what? This is a battle you can win. And every time you make the choice to push back, no matter how small, you're building something bigger. You're building strength, resilience, and a little bit of grit. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that breaking free from procrastination and laziness is going to be easy. I won't sugarcoat that for you. It takes time, it takes patience, and more than anything, it takes persistence. But let me tell you something, start small. Set manageable goals. Set goals that you can look at and say, I can do this today. Don't wait for motivation, because sometimes motivation ain't coming. You've got to create it yourself. And you do that by taking one step, even if it's a baby step, every single day. You ever feel like procrastination is this heavy cloud hovering over you? Or like laziness is this invisible force dragging you down? Well, in those moments, I need you to stop and remind yourself that you have the power. You're not helpless. You're not stuck. You are in control of your actions. You don't have to wait for the stars to align or for someone to give you permission to move forward. No, you have the pen in your hand and you can rewrite your story. You have the power to flip the script, to choose action over inaction, to choose self-discipline over the easy way out. Each time you pick action, something amazing happens. You build momentum. And honey, when you've got momentum on your side, it's like pushing a car uphill. At first it's hard. It takes all your strength, all your willpower. But once it starts moving, once you've got that car rolling, everything else falls into place. Progress comes faster, confidence comes with it. And little by little, you'll look around and realize that procrastination and laziness don't have the same hold on you that they used to. So the next time you find yourself tempted to say, I'll do it later, I want you to pause. Ask yourself, is this helping me get closer to my goals, or is it holding me back? And then choose action. Choose to take that step, however small. Choose to build on that progress, because self-discipline at its core is about making that choice over and over again until it becomes a habit, until it becomes who you are. Let's get something straight. Laziness is the enemy of learning, of growth, of progress. You can't afford to sit back and let opportunities pass you by. Not in your career, not in your relationships, and certainly not in your personal growth. Laziness will rob you blind if you let it. But action is the antidote. Action is what gets you moving forward, keeps you learning, helps you pick up new ideas, new habits, and even new life lessons. Let me break it down for you. Life is serious. We call it life or death for a reason. Someone once asked me how I would describe life, and I said, life is the struggle to keep death at a respectable distance. It's true, you've got to push back. You can't let the weight of complacency drag you under. You've got to fight every day to keep moving forward, to keep reaching for more. Now, we all know starting something new is tough. It's like staring up at a mountain and you're at the bottom looking at how far you have to go. But remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with that first step. And here's the thing, that first step doesn't have to be a leap. It doesn't have to be something grand. It just has to be a step, a single step forward. Because once you take that first step, once you push through that initial resistance, the magic happens. Momentum kicks in and everything starts to move a little bit easier. So how do we start? Start by setting goals that fire you up, goals that make you excited to get out of bed in the morning, goals that pull you forward even when everything inside of you wants to stay still. And once you've got those goals, break them down into bite-sized tasks. Break them down so small that it's almost silly not to do them. This isn't about tricking anyone but yourself. It's about making the task so easy, so manageable that you can't help but knock them out. Laziness, it thrives in the absence of purpose. You need a reason so strong, so compelling that it yanks you out of bed, out of the comfort of procrastination. Your why has to be the fuel that powers you through the hard days. It has to remind you of the bigger picture of the reason you're doing all of this in the first place. It's not just about hitting a number, reaching a milestone, or achieving success. It's about the respect you build for yourself in the process. Every time you choose action, every time you beat back laziness, you're telling yourself, I am worth it. My dreams are worth it. And let me tell you, there is no better feeling in this world than looking in the mirror and knowing you've kept a promise to yourself. That is where confidence comes from. That is where success is built, from keeping your word to yourself, from showing up when it's hard, from doing the work when nobody's watching. But listen to me now, your environment plays a huge role in this. You can't expect to thrive in an environment that pulls you down. Surround yourself with reminders of your goals. Surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up, who inspire you to take action. Build a space around you that makes it easier to succeed, a space that makes procrastination harder. Create a world for yourself that encourages action and makes quitting feel almost impossible. You want to know another secret weapon? Routine. Routines are the backbone of progress. They're what keep you on track when motivation isn't enough. A solid routine is like a fortress against procrastination and laziness. When you know what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it, you save yourself the mental energy of trying to figure it out. You just act. Listen, overcoming procrastination and laziness isn't just about pushing through. It's about understanding why they show up in the first place. Ask yourself, why am I putting this off? What am I avoiding? 9 times out of 10, it comes down to fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of stepping outside that cozy comfort zone. But when you face those fears head on, when you shine a light on them, they lose their power. All right, now let's dive into this journey and reshape it in a way that speaks from the heart. Let's talk truth, because that's what we need, right? Not just in the whisper of soft advice, but in the bold voice of real talk. You see, we've been conditioned to believe that success is all about the shiny things, the big house, the fancy car, the bank account that never ends. But baby, let me tell you, that ain't it. Success isn't in the things you can touch, hold, or flaunt. It's in who you are. It's about the person you become when no one's looking, the strength you build when no one's cheering. That's the kind of success that matters, the kind that lasts. Now, let's get real. Stop thinking success is something you can buy or measure in dollars and cents. It's not about the stuff you gather, but about the life you live, the choices you make, and the impact you have. So hear me when I say this: don't chase after material wealth and forget about the person you're becoming along the way. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that truly matters is your character, the legacy you leave behind, and the love you give out. Look, life is like a tapestry and you're the weaver. What are you weaving? Is it a story of fear, doubt, and procrastination? Or are you crafting something powerful? A masterpiece where every thread speaks of purpose, action, and fearlessness. The choice is yours, and the world is waiting to see what you create. You got to wake up every day ready to thread that needle with intention, with heart, with grit. You got to believe that the life you're weaving is a reflection of your potential, a work of art only you can create. Now imagine this. Imagine a world where success is not measured by the size of your wallet, but by the growth in your soul. A world where your value isn't tied to things, but to the lives you touch, the people you help, the legacy you leave behind. Can you see it? I know you can. And guess what? It's not just a dream. It's the reality you can create. Every day you have the opportunity to plant seeds of kindness, of resilience, of ambition. And those seeds, they grow They turn into something beautiful, something real, something lasting. Think about it. Your life is like a blank canvas. With every decision, every step, you're painting a picture. Each stroke matters. Each choice you make, no matter how small, contributes to the masterpiece that is your life. And don't get it twisted. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about evolution. It's about showing up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Let me break it down. Life ain't always going to be easy. It's not supposed to be. Every challenge, every setback, every obstacle. Those are the things that shape you, mold you, refine you. They're not here to break you, they're here to build you. So when life throws you curveballs, don't run from them. Don't cower, face them head on. Embrace the struggle, because it's in those moments that you discover just how strong, how capable, how resilient you really are. You see, this journey you're on, it's not just about getting to the top of some metaphorical mountain. No, it's about who you become on the way up. It's about the courage you find in yourself when you're halfway up that mountain, tired, beaten down, and ready to quit, but you don't. You keep climbing, you keep pushing, and by the time you reach that summit, you realize that it wasn't the peak that mattered. It was the climb, it was the fight, it was the growth that happened along the way. Now think about this, mountains are huge, right? They're intimidating, they demand respect. But what if I told you that the mountains you face in life aren't here to stop you, they're here to make you better? Stronger, wiser. The climb is tough, no doubt about it, but that's where the magic happens. It's in the struggle that you learn what you're made of, so don't shy away from those mountains. Don't let fear paralyze you. Instead, let that fear fuel you. Let it be the fire that drives you forward. Because when you conquer that mountain, when you reach the top, oh, the view. It's like nothing you've ever seen. And let's not forget diamonds, the most precious gems, are formed under pressure. So when life starts pressing it on you, when the pressure feels unbearable, just remember you're becoming something valuable, something unbreakable. Embrace that pressure. Don't run from it. Let it refine you, let it shape you, and let it reveal the brilliance that's been inside you all along. So here's the real talk. Life is always going to throw challenges your way, but how you respond, that's everything. You can see obstacles as roadblocks, or you can see them as stepping stones. The choice is yours. And let me tell you, choosing the stepping stones, that's how you grow. That's how you win. Every challenge is an opportunity to show yourself what you're made of. An opportunity to rise, to learn, to evolve. You've got all the tools you need right now inside you. You've got the power of self-discipline, the ability to crush procrastination, the strength to build positive habits. You've got everything you need to turn those challenges into opportunities. The question is, are you ready to use them? So what's the next step? What can you do today that'll bring you one step closer to the life you want? It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be dramatic, but it has to be something. Maybe it's setting a new goal. Maybe it's making a plan. Maybe it's deciding that today is the day you stop living in the past and start building your future. Whatever it is, just start. Don't overthink it. Don't let doubt creep in. Just take that step. Remember what they say, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And every single step you take brings you closer to that dream, to that vision, to that life you've always wanted. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep moving forward, no matter how slow, no matter how hard, because each step, no matter how small, is progress. This road, it's not going to be straight, it's not going to be easy, it's going to have twists, turns, and unexpected detours. But that's okay, embrace it. Every twist is a lesson. Every turn is an opportunity to learn, to grow. Don't rush the process, don't get impatient. Trust that every step is bringing you closer to greatness. Now, let me remind you of something important. You've got what it takes. You've got the strength, the determination, the resilience to conquer any obstacle in your way. Believe in yourself. trusting your ability to not only survive, but thrive.